913,000. That's insane. This game must be great. Alright, hello. So we're at the start of the game for you console players that are wondering what is this experience about. This video is a warning. I want you to know exactly what you're walking into when you play this game. So I've already done the crafting to get to my basic tools. I think it's this tab over here. It's been a while since I've played, so forgive me here. That basically, you're going to use these to gather. I think you can gather these without that, any tools. But say like this guy right here, the herbs, you're going to need a sickle to gather. You can see at the bottom right of the screen. Oh yeah, look at that. You get some specialty items with it, like the nutmeg, the hyssop. In the beginning of the game, this is all pretty fun stuff, right? Leveling up, all the RPG type things are a lot of fun in game when you first start playing them. The question is, what does it all culminate into? What's the end point? How does it look at the end game? So let's go to, obviously you're going to be chasing loot, that's the main thing. Your crafting tools, these things do not ever, they can break, but they don't ever truly break, right? When they break, you just repair it. I forget what button it is. Does it even say on here? Actions, click. Yeah, so you go to repair. And then it's probably just flint or something right now. Let's see if we can repair this. I'm just doing it. I'm not sure what it's using, if it's using anything. So this was not even used. So anyway, the crafting tools, once you get a legendary crafting tool, you will no longer need another crafting tool again unless you find a better legendary crafting tool for that slot. I think it's a horrible system the way they designed that. They really missed out. They should have made it so when you reach 0 durability on your tool, let's say like my sickle drops down to 0, it then breaks, and then I need to go to the auction house and buy one, or I then also craft one. Same result either way, you have another one, but the thing is, if you want the best of the best, you don't get it forever. I get it, like chasing it and getting the one thing. The problem is it's horrible for the economy. You need to have a consistent economy that keeps rotating, and the only things that's really rotating is just the buying of materials. So anyway, yes, it's going to be fun getting loot and stuff as you're leveling up, and that's typical of pretty much all games, right? You can have fun in pretty much any game doing the same thing. So beyond that, what does the game offer? What do we have here? So I just press I or K, it doesn't really matter which one. It shows the map, and the map is actually pretty decently laid out. It's pretty easy to understand. It'll tell you like what things are in the area. So if I go over here, if I were to have discovered this, it should say like what it is. But anyway, the activities, what you have expeditions. Expeditions are your dungeons. It shows you what level you can enter these things. I'm not a fan of starting dungeons at 25 when the leveling's not too bad, but if it's to 60 or 65, why not just have this at 10 and have the next one at 20, or so it's kind of like I forget what WoW was with Wailing Caverns and Stockade. I forget where they went first in the Alliance. It was pretty much always Horde. Anyway, tangent over. Anyway, yeah, it'll be 15. This is what you have to do throughout your leveling up experience. You will continue doing these, but there will be mutated expeditions when you get better gear, and you can do M1, M2, M3. And it shows you basically what you're getting here. This is all new, showing the previews right here. I don't think they had stuff like this before. You used to have to go to your map. Like press M, and I have to find the dungeon, click on it, and then it'd have like a join here. So it's much better with the UI, being able to just go to activities and go, hey, I want to do a mutated dungeon. I'm going to do this one. This is what I get. Unfortunately, can I see? Okay, good. So you can hover over these things, and it shows you exactly what it is. So, and then these are the perks: strength, ignited. This is just a gem slot. I don't know if you can change that out on. I'd imagine you can. Some gems don't work. It's kind of weird. You would think all gems would work on anything and just kind of change the flavor of it, but it's not the way it works. Some gems you cannot slot into something. Like I had a ring, for example. I can show you on my main when I get there. But everything's like luck on the ring, and I wanted to put a pearl in it to make it luck as well, to increase the luck. You can't do that. I don't know why. It's like it's got a lightning gem or something in there, and you're stuck with it. You can't get rid of it. So, well, the ancients, that was the first staff that I really used as healer. Great staff. Anyway, but I'm trying to talk you away from the game. Like, just getting the loot's fun and all, but it's what you do with it and how you acquire it is just, it's not that fun. I don't think there's any difference. So, M1, 2, 3, this is all the same stuff drops in M1, 2, 3. I think it's how much and how often it drops is the difference. Like, it's not going to... Does it drop at 6.5? I really doubt it. Maybe it does. No, it does, because you can upgrade to 700 with the new gear score. Yeah, weird system. Anyway, so after expeditions, let's go back to activities. What else can you do? Elite trials, there's only one. It's the raid. It's a 20-man or something. I think it's 20-man. Most, I think 90+% of people never completed this. It's just, I wouldn't say it's poorly designed. It's not really pug friendly, and people didn't seem to listen. So there's that to do. Did I say 15? No, it is out of 20. So 20 people required. There are other things too. I don't see it on here. I don't have it unlocked, so I doubt I can look at it. But I don't even have Brimstone unlocked by default. Oh no, they do. I take it back. It's over here. There is a trial in here somewhere. See, some tours. I think it's just south. It's like right here. No, it's right here somewhere. Anyway, there's these 10-mans, and I don't know if they're still viable. Unfortunately, there's not much in-game content, so you're kind of stuck with what you got. And those 10-mans, not only are they, after you do it the first time, you understand the mechanics, they're just face rolls. And plus, with the gear people have nowadays, they're going to be face rolls anyway. But beyond that, I don't think the gear is scaled to the highest gear score level now. You have to do the newer content for that, which is in the above Brim. It's not in Brimstone. It's maybe you have, oh, there it is. Okay, I thought it was called this Keys 8 change for some reason. This used to be First Light. I liked First Light, and they got rid of it. Instead of making a new zone like over here, they just modified the First Light zone, and then it's now releasing allowance. So going back to the activities, that's pretty much it for PvP stuff. There's the 3v3 arena. There's Outpost Rush. There's only one map. There's always only been one map, and that's a big point of contention with the community. Everyone's like, "Hey, when do we get a new map? When do we get a new map?" And they're pretty much never said anything about it. They just left it as it is. You know, a new map should be pretty simple to set up. I don't know why it took them forever or never, I guess in this case, because this game's probably shutting down. But anyway, on to the next tab, you have companies. Companies are your guilds. There's really no point having a company. These things are, there's no like levels in the company. There's no, like if you remember how like WoW worked and you had perks for being in a guild, there's nothing like that. It's just another chat you can use. So the chats would be, like, let me move this. Chats would be over here. If I click this guy here, there's all the chats right here. So you'd have the company there, and then obviously if you're in a faction, you'd have a faction as well. And that's kind of the way that works there. So companies, not necessary, but because you can pretty much choose faction chat anyway if you're gonna. And the way the game works PvE wise, you can, any faction can, if you go to general chat, you can say, hey, I'm looking to do whatever, and then get a group together, which is probably impossible right now with the player count they have. Set at like 4,000, I think, 4,000 or 5,000. Game is dead, and I believe season 5 has been extended too, so until October or something. So even more reason for people not to even log in. Map is pretty self-explanatory. I already showed you that. It's just nodes, you know. You can teleport to these things. It costs Azoth. I would say just get rid of that and have a better Azoth dump. It's kind of like the gold sinks. You know, people would say the respecking, which is not free, by the way. It is right now because I'm a low level, but if I was max level, it costs you 200 every time or 250 or something, and it adds up. So if you want to be a healer, and then you're like, well, I want to go tank now. That's 200. Oh, hey, label, we need you to heal. Okay, that's another 200. And I want to do PvP, and I have a different gear set and a different setup for that. Another 200. And it just keeps going and going and going. I mean, this is something devs have done for a while, and I'm not a fan of it. They really need to stop doing this. Stop penalizing people for playing the way they want to play. it pushes them away. And obviously people will push back and say, well, 200 gold's not that much. It is when you keep adding it up. When you keep having, it's like, talk to the WoW players in vanilla saying that respecting wasn't a problem. It was like 100 plus gold every time you respect. Like, I never understood the point of penalizing somebody for wanting to play a different way. Like, and then the other excuse would be choices matter. Yes, choices do matter, but not in this case. Like, if it's a story path and it's like, hey, kill this guy or let him live, and you go, well, I'm going to kill him. Yes, there should be consequences one way or the other for choosing one or the other, but that's not the way it works. So to me, there's no point in putting this behind a monetary value. Just let people do it freely. The same thing for I think it's just Azoth for the attributes. That's what this is. So I should have went to it's Weapon Mastery. That's Azoth. So if I were to respect this, right now it's free, but once I get to like level 20 or something, it goes up to 50 or something. I forget exactly what it goes to. But anyway, you do assign stuff here. Inside here are the values you want to hit. So if you're out there mining and that's all you're doing for that, then you want a strength or a mining set in order to boost your mining all the way up to, you want to preferably get it to 350 to get the 10% to find rare items as well. But the 25% chance of just automatically getting it, and it's not every swing, it's poorly programmed, poorly implemented. This is the first swing only. Same thing applies to trees, which I think is Constitution. Yeah, 25% chance to chop down a tree in a single swing. First swing only. Every other swing doesn't count that. It's poorly worded and poorly implemented. Okay, weapon masteries, you just basically use your weapon and it levels up. I think 20 is the max. By leveling up, you get points, blah, blah, blah. Little talent tree in there. Very, very lackluster talent tree, I'll say. That's another thing the game is really severely lacking, is it really needs better talent trees. I would say the attributes is okay to a degree. Does it really make a huge difference? Damage and healing, why, sure, but I mean, it's not like I'm specializing. It's not like if you've seen the WoW Dragonfly talent tree, there's a ton of stuff to choose from. And that's great. It's nice to have not just a cookie cutter build, but multiple builds, something so you can try new stuff. And they should be incentivizing that, because like if you're a dev, from my perspective, if you're a dev, you want people, especially with an MMO, to keep playing your game. You want them always in your game, always playing your game. And if they go away from your game and they're not playing your game anymore, well, that's a problem. You want the retention, and partly to do that is you don't gouge them for playing the way they want to play. If you just say, well, you're going to be you chose DPS, so therefore you're a DPS forever. That's such a stupid mentality. It's like, oh, I want to play healer now. Well, too bad. It's going to cost you 200 gold every time. But anyway, could be much better in that regard. Trade skills. This is, oh man. So I think these go to 250 now. And based on let's go over to my gathering stuff. Based on what tier this is, you get something over. It says 200% gather speed. So I don't know why that's even a thing, because you can't gather logs or trees without, like, if I unequip that and I went up to a tree, I can't gather that tree without the axe. So you would think it'd be like 100% speed, but instead it's whatever. I don't know. I'm just splitting hairs at this point. But those go up to a legendary tier, and when they're legendary, it's like 600 or 650 or something crazy, and you're just burning through stuff. But you really do need it, because that's all you're going to be doing, period. For the PvE portion, it's just getting these leveled. The one good thing I will say about this system is when you get this to 250, say logging, for example. So I hit all these trees, I get the 250 logging. It doesn't stop. This is something I say about all games. Never stop progression. You always want your progression to keep going. So when I hit level 65 in this game, I should be able to continuously level, not to 66, but go from 65 to the next level, and then it resets. Have it not a cumulative, but have it a static amount of XP you need, and you have to find the right amount that feels good, right? So players are, they feel like they got that constant progression going. That's what it's all about. And then you get like a goodie bag or something, and your XP is going somewhere. I don't like games like WoW when you get to the cap level. What they would say is, oh well, you get more gold per quest. It's like, okay, that's good. What happens when I finish all the quests? Oh, Oh, I guess you get nothing then. Oh, great system. Good design. You got to think ahead. You got to think big picture. What's beyond? And then what's beyond? What's beyond that? You always got to keep looking forward. Progression, important. So trade skills. These are some of the most boring things to do. Fishing is one of the most lackluster. I can't do it on this character. It's one of the most boring things to do. Let's say if I wanted to harvest this plant, I mean, you just sit there and harvest. I mean, should there be a mini game there? I don't know. It'd be kind of. I think if they wanted to, it'd be cool if they did have a mini game, but it'd be optional. So like I can just go up there and press E and gather it if I want to, or I could play the mini game and get better yield. And that keeps the player engaged instead of just like run around, derp, grab that, derp, grab that, and you'll be doing this. 100% of the time, you'll be doing this. You'll be logging. You'll be doing all of it: logging, mining, skinning, harvesting, all this stuff. Writing only gets capped at let's see if we can go into it at 250. Once you get there, there's no more progression. Like I said, don't ever stop progression. Always keep it going. So, back to the trade skills. These things take forever to level up. It is one of the slowest things, unless you're like the guild crafter, and the guilds are dead, by the way. So, don't expect to be the guild crafter in this game because there's no guilds left. Everyone's gone. There's only 4,000 or 5,000 people playing this game anymore. So, doing these like solo, like is pretty much all you have to do at the end game for the PvE. Furnishing, I don't think I even finished that on my main character. It's so boring, and the only good thing you get out of it is can't even search in here. Oh my gosh, so annoying. Is these? This is the only reason to do this. Now, if you don't want to bother, you can just buy these on the auction house. Obviously, the higher up you go, let's go all the way to the end. There should be a chest of some. I don't know what this is. There should be a chest at the end that's like super good. Oh, that's right. You need recipes. So it's not going to be in here. You need a recipe for it. And you can buy those in the auction house or just find them. I don't think they're like, you can't go to like Xboss and farm it. It's just kind of a world drop wherever. So you're probably just going to find it in the auction house, and they're usually super expensive. But yeah, these things take forever to level, and that's all you have to do. The good thing is, once again, they do level up. So once they hit 250, so we'll go all the way, don't pull us all the way down. Once you get to 250, it can go to 251, but not 251. Just like I said with the XP, it would hit 251, but it resets back to 250, and you get some goodies. It's a good way of doing it. So I have to give them props when it comes to that. PvP, if you're a PvPer, I can't do it right now on this character. This is a starting character, but this is the PvP track. For the track, you have checkpoints. You don't have to choose anything. So when I first started playing, doing PvP, I'm like, oh, I got the track one, I have to choose this. Because I figured it was like a lot of the stuff. I got to choose one of everything, and then it moves to the next thing. You don't have to do that. You can actually, if there's nothing you want on any of these checkpoints, you can just complete the track, and I think it gives you bonus. This is salt, which is, I do like that. Salt for killing people in PvP. That's good. That's good. But, yeah, so it looks like it caps at 100,000. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You don't want to hit your 100,000 marks. You will want to buy stuff. Now, I don't believe you can go back. So that's one unfortunate thing. There's no rewind. So if you miss something, let's say and I'm sure I did too. I'm sure name stuff came up, and it was like good PvP stuff. And at the time, I had no idea what it was, right? So I just passed it up, and then later on, I was like, oh, whoops. I should have clicked on those things. So there are things you would want. So that's just the tiers for this. You just get titles, really, for getting these tiers. That's how many tracks you got to complete. They usually don't take too long to complete, but I mean, you do have to participate in like Outpost Rush or Wars or whatever it may be PvP wise. And I forget what the deal is. Maybe I'll show it on the map. There is what is this, conflicts? No, it's not that stuff. I forget what they're called, but they happen every day, and you can. No, it's not objectives. I wanted to say it was in the conflicts, but. Influence races. Yes, it is here. Okay, so let's say, what is this? This is a race time. This is an influence race. So I can't click on this or do anything with it. but it says it's in Restless Shore, which is up here, I believe, somewhere. And it's at this certain time. And the problem with these influence races is you go to do these things, and if there's too many people, like, okay, I'll finish my thought and then I'll say what should be done about it. There's too many people in one area. What it'll do is, like, you'll run over there, you'll get to the spot, and it'll teleport you to town. And you go, why am I in town? There's too many people in the area. So it has to move. So one solution could be only allow X amount of people at that location, and then like make it an instance. So like when X amount of people from each faction, so say it's 20, and then they all help add to the overall amount of what's happening on that node. So let's say so there's three factions: the Covenant, the Marauders, and the Illuminati, the Syndicate. They have the eye symbol. They all sing eye. Of course they do. But let's say you have all three of those go in with this idea that I have. If each one wins, so let's say Marauders win this one, Covenant wins this one. This is all instance. Keep that in mind. And then Syndicate wins this one. Then nothing happens with the node. This would have to be fleshed out. I can already kind of see, but it obviously wouldn't just be 3 instances. It all depends on how many players show up. But the problem, nobody likes getting teleported to town. That's not a fun gameplay. It's not fun for anybody. You know, so they obviously, HES doesn't really think things through, or maybe they do stuff and they just kind of hope for the best. It seems to be their design approach. But 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work. That's been like the motto of this game. We'll try it, but it's not going to work. Achievements, I don't think we need to really go over that. There's nothing in the journals, just your quests, obviously. Characters, we already went over all this stuff. Magnify, this is something that, when you have a magnify piece of gear, so if I have all strength, it's going to magnify my strength. So if it says magnify 20 or something, it's going to magnify strength plus 20. Whatever your highest stat is, basically. And what else? I wanted to look at, not this, the inside here. So they implemented something called gear sets. Now, I believe you get 2 of these for free. If you played Season 1, so you can't do this anymore, you can't get it anymore, you would get a 3rd one as well. Well, you can't get it anymore, so now you gotta buy them. And I think they're like $5 a pop. It's not a super small amount. I mean, these should have been free. They're trying to monetize whatever they can get away with, and this is one of the things they could, because the way this game works, it revolves around having gear for certain things. So let's say you have gear for PvP, you have gear for tanking, you have gear for healing, you have gear for DPS, and there's also, I mean, you can do multiple DPS. It's going to be weapon mastery. Each one of these, if I go to the attributes, you can see which one scales with what. Typically, it scales more primarily with one, but they also don't show you. So like greatswords on here, this is like the only 50-50 weapon. It scales 50% with strength and 50% with dex. Most of these, like the rapier, says dexterity intelligence. I'm pretty sure that it scales more with dexterity than it does intelligence. And that's something they should have added this to the tooltip, say scales 60-40 or 70-30, whatever it is. You know, it's a problem devs seem to have, is they don't, maybe they're worried about overload, but I'd rather see percentages and numbers and understand exactly what's happening rather than have to go to a wiki and figure out exactly what it's doing. But anyway, tangent over. So let's say these, what was I saying? See, that's what happens when you go on tangents. I can't remember what you're saying. Anyway, with the gear sets. So when you have the gear sets, you can only have so many, right? So you have to, the idea is they're trying to, it's a predatory way of selling these things. Is because they want you to have, they give you the 1 or 2, and they want you to buy one for your fishing, for your logging, and there are gear sets for all these things. And those gear sets tie into the attributes. If I go to character, go to attributes. At here, at 300, usually there is something, so intelligence is not a good example. This is not a good example. I guess skinning could probably, you want to be 350, but like the skinning set will obviously be like all dex. The logging set is all constitution, because at 300 you can have a 25% chance of getting a tree in one swing. And then the same thing with the ore, you know, the mindset. So the idea is they want you to have all these different gear sets on, but you have to. They're all in your inventory, so they're all taken up. Now I can't remember if they're still in your inventory if you have them tied to a gear set. I believe that's not the case. So it's another thing. It's a way to clear your inventory. Otherwise, it's all adding to your weight. That means less farming you can do. Or yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much what it comes down to. So predatory. They did that. And they did it the wrong way too. They should have tied. ESO does this. There's a mod for an add-on for free that you have that can. I think it's called Alpha Gear, if anyone knows it. But this mod is amazing. You click a button and it changes over from one gear set and attributes and talents to a whole different whatever you set up. So you set all this stuff up and it automatically changes all this stuff over to whatever the new one is you clicked. It's so good. And I made a thread in the forums. That's how old it was. In the forums saying, begging the new old devs, hey, look, man, we got to get in front of this, guys. We have 6 or 7 months coming until that's when that update came out. We didn't know when it was coming, but we knew it was kind of far out because they had just mentioned it in one of their little live stream deals. And I was like, we need to get in front of this and we need to do it right. Well, of course, when it came out, it's missing what they need to make it good. And of course, it's not as good as it could have been. They missed the mark again. Just like every other update they have. They miss the mark every time. So anyway, I'm going to cut this and let's go to the next part. I'll jump on my main character and I'll show you. I really don't want to do an ECR. I really don't. But I think I'm going to have to show you guys what an ECR is. And if there's none running, what I'll do is I'll just explain it and I'll just go to like an area and kind of show you what's going on. So I'll end it here for the beginning section and the basic understanding of what the core systems are in the game. And remember, the one thing you're going to be doing is trade skills. There's pretty much nothing else to do. And you'll get real tired of mutated dungeons. That's the expeditions. Mutated expeditions real quick. And the AI is pretty dang stupid. Mechanically, most of them are pretty boring. There's nothing really in my mind that stands out. Even for the 10-man, I forget what they call them, trials or something. But anyway, so let's go to the max level, and I'll show you what's going on there. All right, I've logged into my main character, and I'm asking if there are any ECRs here. We'll see what people have to say. Looks like nothing going on. It looks like I'm still on my PvP here. Just give you this is all stuff. I don't even know what all this stuff is. Recipes that I can't use, that won't sell. They're just completely worthless. There's a lot of things in this game, so just keep that in mind. These are the artifacts. I mean, chasing all this stuff is kind of fun. Look, it's just like any other RPG. It's gonna be cool chasing the stuff. You get it. You get your set online. This is my PvP set. It's all you want the PvP perks, things like that. But the problem with the PvP in this game is, first off, it's not. In order to compete, you need to get to the cap level first off, and then after that, you need to get the gear, and then after you have the gear, you need to get. Everything is 700, and then what else am I gonna say? You need to get these upgraded too. I mean, look, if you come in here as a brand new console player, and then you're fighting against PC players, and they have everything that I have. I'm basically maxed out with my PvP section for this, obviously. But most everything's 700, and I got really good. This is the highest you can go for legendary heart rune. And I'll show the heart rune off so you can see what's going on. I forget what key it is. What key? Left control. Okay, so you got to build it up. I forgot about that. You got to go to combat, kill things, hit things, do whatever, take damage, and then it'll build up that heart rune. Then you can use that heart rune. So, in ECR, let's just go to like any place really, and I'll show you. Let's see, what would be a good elite? I don't think there's any. Are there any elite areas there? No, that's not really. an elite area, I don't think. There is one. I don't want to go to like the higher level zones to because I just want to showcase it. Let's see. I think we could probably go to here, but I don't have any of my. Oh wow! So for some reason my character was not in this world, and they negate, or maybe they just added these. Looks like they just added them. Then. Yeah. Okay. They just added new fast travel points because nobody likes running anywhere. Mounts is not bad. You know, it should have been with the game. Everyone said that. Everyone knows it. It's just stating the obvious, obviously. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to have more of these. You do have to still use Azoth to go around, and Azoth is I have 58 here, and then there are pouches you can use. Let's see if I have any on me. Where it's in here, yes. If I use this, that's right. You got to salvage it. What is the salvage button? C. Whoops. Well, I used all of 10 of them, I think, because it used all of them. I think there's a way to split it or something. I don't know. Like, it's been a long time. Sorry, guys. But anyway, let's just go to. Name Great Cleave. Yeah, let's just go to Great Cleave. I'll show you this. So there's an elite area over. Where is it? Here, and you can see it says Elite Stronghold, recommended level 50. We'll go over here. I'm in my PvP gear. I'm not even going to bother changing. I totally forget, but I guess I can show you the gear sets. So when we get over there, I'll show you that. PvP sets. It's fine for PvE too, for the most part. It's obviously I don't know if I can't remember if they have perks for like anti-corrupted or they used to. No, you know what? I think they don't anymore. They used to, and they got rid of it. So what is it? Zeta C X. Okay, so X is the mount. Yay. I think there is sprinting with the mount. Okay, so I'll get off here. I'm not even going to bother. It's going to take forever. So they have some rare materials in here. Lodestone's a rare material. You're always going to want it. You know, when you first start gathering a lot of this stuff, you're going to think, oh, I don't need that. I have no use for that. You will. Everything. You're going to need it. So you want to go through here, and then obviously, and here's not the greatest example, but there'd be chests littered around. And there's no mini-map, unfortunately, but I think there's probably a chest in here. So you want to go grab the chest. Let's roll out of here, get out of there. There's standing at the bottom that you have to maintain. There's a boss over here. Let's see if I can't kill this guy. No, I'm not even going to bother. Look at this health didn't even move. Switch weapons, is it 2? Yeah, 2. Shield guys, you can break their block. Assuming they're guarding, it's a lot harder to break their block than it is to. So we'll just, I'm not losing any damage. I think I have a lot of leech on this build. But anyway, there is a chest in here. So there's one here. That's not one of the main ones. One of the main ones is going to look like these two. But these aren't what you're looking for. It'd be an elite chest. So this would be kind of one of them, but I want to say they look different in the so I do have ult, so check this out. You just get out, fully get out. Oh wow. He killed me. I didn't think he'd kill me. So yeah, that's basically it. You basically run from one chest to another. And when you're in an ECR, it's a whole zerg of people, like it used to be. I don't think there's enough people on the servers now to even support it. So you'd run from one to the other, and then when you get from one to the other, you just press E. You know, all the bosses. So these areas, I'll show you one of them. I'm not going to go there inside, but this is called Merkgard. This was in the vanilla, I guess you can say, before the expansion came out. And in here, there are many bosses. See these things. Don't worry about these too much. These you can do the pearls while you're inside too. But there's bosses inside. You kill the bosses, you get loot. And then, beyond that, there are chests, and there's usually chests by the bosses. And you want to pick up those elite chests. So you basically start here or here. Doesn't matter which side really. and you run from one to the other, chest to chest to chest. And while you're in the Zerg, you're just Zerging everything down. Typically the Zergs, when they go into Murkguard, they destroy the monoliths as well because it's good to get these things. But I think there's so many ideas that I could have, I'm sure I could come up with, to make this better and more fun for everybody. And I tell you the way it's set up right now, ECR, it stands for Elite Chest Run, because it's Elite Chest that you're getting, right? But it stands for Elite Chest Run, and basically you're just getting all these chests, right? And you're getting loot from these things. Well, they lowered the loot. It used to be like really good stuff, because these things, I mean, this is a high-end zone. This was max level stuff that you could do back in the day. But once ECR became a thing, and they realized, oh, people are just, I would say abusing the content. But at the same time, it's the devs that set it up this way and didn't think about the repercussions of their systems and didn't look ahead, like I said earlier. This is why this came about. And it came about because people needed something called watermark. You got the level 600, so let's go to my gear score here. In these slots, there were, you were 600 by default when you get your, I think the cap level gear, or when you get to the level 60 zones. You get 600 gear in there, but you had to increase each slot. So every slot, you had to increase up to 625. And that was for weapons too. So every single weapon you had to, and I can't remember, I don't know if it's still like that. I don't think it is. Let's go take a look. We can actually go to Shattered Mountain. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'd have the outpost. Or I can't teleport there? Did they change this? Why does this look different? Oh, there we go. There should be a fast travel here. What's going on? So inside here, we'll see if there is still a way to do this. There's orbs you can get. These orbs you get from different activities. I think there's some from like Arena, OPR. You get these shards. You turn the shards in. You get orbs. And these orbs, or maybe it's just turn the shards in for the orb. Let's see. Anyway, you go to this gypsum kiln. Move this over here. So inside here, gypsum orbs. There we go. And then let's see. Sculpt into a cast. Yeah. So let's say if I did. This is for colors, right? For if I have. This is what for doing different activities. You get these for doing. Let's move this again so you can see. So each one does. You get from a different activity. This is open world elite bosses. This is expedition bosses. And so on and so forth. There's a different one for like 8 colors or something. But you would use these things to upgrade, and this is it's a whole different thing, to upgrade a slot. So let's say the slot was a your headpiece. You'd have to do this every time, and it could happen normally too. So opening chests would upgrade it to 621 or 601, and so on and so forth, all the way to 620. 625, or you can use the orbs to increase a slot. Now, since I can't use any orbs, so okay, I forgot. This is what's happening here. When you have the orbs here, you can, let's say, I'll just turn one in so you can see. Okay, one orb. Continue to craft. So that's refining. So let's go back. Casting. So you need 20 orbs for 1,500 gold and 250 dark matter. That sounds horrible. That's a lot of orbs. A lot of time. That's just Azoth for that. I could swear there was another reason for these things. Maybe they just made it. We turn it in here? I totally forget what you even use. Whatever. I forget what you use them for. Don't worry about it. It's a garbage system. And I don't even think that old system's in the game anymore. I think the watermark's not even in the game. But back in the day, that's what you had to do. And that's the whole reason elite chest runs became a thing. And I remember seeing a stream with Scott. Scott Lane is the director. He was saying, oh yeah, it was so good. We were doing this elite chest run. So much fun. Like, how is it fun steamrolling all the elites, all the content, not doing it, not earning it, and just pressing E on all the boxes going through Murkguard? How is that fun? Like, as the director, I would have been like, okay, this is like, I understand people, they want their watermark, but we need to find better, more interactive ways for people to upgrade their watermark. And that would be like, I would turn this into maybe a PvP slash PvE zone. Maybe like we have make another entrance over here or something. But the problem is you have a flow. And this thing flows in a certain way. You kind of go up through here, and then you go here, and then you go over here, and you come down here or here. I forget exactly how it goes, but you go in a certain way through. So you couldn't have 3 spots. You'd have to design it with 3 spots. One for each of the factions. But I mean, there's so many ways you can make this better. But instead, they went with it. They roll with it. And I remember when Brimstone Stands was coming out, they said, "Oh yeah, we have we have more elite areas where you can just he didn't say steamroll, but that's what he meant. Where you can just destroy everything and steamroll it, and it'll be a lot of fun, guys. A lot of loot. But the loot's garbage now because they know people are it's face roll content. So you just run through it, and they made everything like greens now. Like obviously the chest used to be really good. Like remember what I was saying about Merkguard being one of the first. The chest used to be really good and have good stuff in it back when the game first came out because this was a 5-man zone. And that's how people treated it at first. Until they realized you could game the system and just not even, you could have 100 people in there, it doesn't matter. The chest, you just loot the chest. They're not like they're locked to the bosses. There's people that would even sneak in there as one solo person and then loot the chest because the AI is so stupid. And there's no, once you get up on top of something, you can just bug out the AI. People would go over here on the what is it called? Mines, something mines. They renamed this. This is different. Nox Aeternum. Yeah, it used to be called mines of some sort. But anyway, used to go in here and to farm all the orichalcum. They just farm it or try for the the one-hit kill with the skill. Remember the attributes over here. This is why I guess I have 300 strength on right now. So the 25% chance. And then as soon as mobs aggro, they just jump up on top of something and wait for them to aggro. Rinse and repeat till you mind everything. So stupid. Anyway, that's pretty much all there is. I mean, there's dungeons to do, and right now with the population so low, I don't think you're going to have the opportunity to even do an expedition or a mutated even. Well, maybe you'll do the M1s, maybe there's only people for M3, so you'll never progress. You'll never be able to do an M1 or an M2 because everyone's at the M3 level when you join the PC crowd. Because I do believe it's going to be cross-platform. So I mean, this is your warning. Don't buy this game. These devs are some of the worst devs that I've ever had experienced in my entire life. And I've played basically not every, but most MMOs. I'm warning you. Please save your money. Don't give it to Amazon. They don't deserve it. They have yet. The only thing they've been decent at has been publishing. If they want to publish all the Korean games, right ahead, right on. Bring them in. We need TNL right now. Should have been here months ago. But I think they're trying to kind of stagger. Maybe they were trying to stagger behind their New World launch. And the VPs are like, okay, you guys need to get this thing out here. We need some cash flow from this project. Oh, okay. It's going to come out before a New World. Now we're really done. Oh, it's so sad. But, they deserve it. And the reason I say that is I'm one of the few, and I'm not, maybe not few, one of the passionate people. And there's plenty out there. There are sycophants, too. On the forums, on the Discord. I'm an ideas man. I come up with ideas how to fix things. And I constantly make threads on the forums, on the, I had a thread on the forums on the beta to get rid of, so if I were going to respec, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so if I did the attributes, because you need to do this if you're going to respec and change over to healer or something, because I don't want to have constitution and strength as a healer. I need focus as a healer for that. So the cost you, it looks like it's 50 now. They lowered it. It used to be 200, and even 50 is too much. It should be nothing. I should be able to click this button and it'd be nothing. But anyway, don't gouge your players for them playing the way they want. But I had, going back to the thread I had on the beta, I had asked for that, and people were like, well, no, you can't do that because, you'll go into town and then you'll respec, and then you'll run out and kill that one guy that killed you. There's huge flaws in that logic, because even if you ran to the same spot, what's he going to be doing? Just laying down, waiting for you? You don't think he hasn't moved on, and then you'll run into a different PvPer? I mean, come on, use your brain here. But yeah, it's a game that I really, really urge you, please avoid it. Don't play this game. Don't give them money. Play Throne Liberty or wait for Ashes of Creation or something better to come along. Amazon, and they don't. The point is with the threads and the Discord thing, they don't listen. There's plenty of things that were upvoted or topics that were hot, and they don't care. They every time they did something, they just do what they want to do. Like I had a thread about the. I may or may not have talked about it already. So here are the gear sets, and this is what it looks like in here. So I bought a few, unfortunately. But inside here, so you set all these things up. You can't set your attributes, so that's still going to cost you money. So it costs you the 50 gold. You can't set your weapon talents. That's going to cost you Azoth. I believe it's Azoth still. Let's see if they change that. Level mastery, the sword and shield, and it's still Azoth. Okay, just make it free. So if you're a game dev watching this, just make it free. There's no need to put a cost on it. But yeah, in the gear sets, I had a thread 6 or 7 months prior to these coming out saying, look, we need to have attributes. We need to have the weapon talents tied to these things. And that's just like this mod. I think it's called Alpha Gear or something from ESO when I used to play that. And at a click of a button in ESO in Alpha Gear, it would change over your gear set, your talents, everything you needed to be, tank or healer or DPS or whatever, whatever it may be. And these people, Amazon AGS, has underdelivered every time, every update. And then when something comes out, maybe it's their crappy lumberyard engine, I don't know. But when something does come out, like say a new season, super bugs. Like, oh yeah, we just had it, and they always delay it too. They go, oh we had to delay it a couple days. It's not really up to our quality standards. Like, what quality standards? You don't have any quality standards. Don't lie to us. But when it comes out, they even after postponing it, it's still broken. It's still not working the way it should. So, what do you do? What do you do? Just don't play the game. That's what you do. Avoid this game like the plague. Please, listen, or pay the price. You'll be among the 4,000, and maybe it bolsters another 10,000. How long till you leave? How long till your buddies leave? How long till everyone else leaves? Then you'll be in the same boat that we were. It's way worse. I haven't played, this is the first time I've logged in months. And I hate being here. I hate this game. At one time I really wanted them to succeed. I was trying to help. I was on the forums and the Discord, and I was trying my best to, give ideas and be productive. But, like I said, they don't listen and they don't seem to care. I think the higher ups probably have cut this game, and they probably said, you know what, we're going to put this in maintenance mode. You guys are going to have to move on. And, but we need to do the console launch. We need to get more money. We need to try and get return on the investment of AGS itself. Because this isn't the only game. They're probably running off of, Lost Ark funds and funds they don't deserve. It's not games they've made. And I'm not saying they don't deserve anything from these. Obviously, they're publishing it, and they brought it over here, and they have done work to it. But you understand what I'm saying? They didn't create Lost Ark. They didn't create Throne of Liberty. They didn't create Blue Protocol. And please hurry up, AGS. Drop this crap New World and get Blue Protocol out here. Like, we need these things better. Nobody wants to play this game anymore. It's obvious. We went from, like, a Josh Drive Hayes video that talks about, like, 97% retention rate lost in, like, a couple months. It's insane. And now we're down to, I don't even know, with a 99% probably. I mean, it was 13,000. Now it's at like 3,000 online. So 910,000 no longer play the game. Wow. What great updates and great content you have at Amazon. I mean, it's worse than the droughts in WoW. And that had bad droughts. Anyway, I'm going to stop. I think I'm done. I'm going to stop ranting. As fun as it is. But I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it gives you a more informed decision on how to go, what to do with New World, whether you want to buy it or not. Like, it's your money, it's your life, it's your time. Time is valuable. Look, I'm an older guy now, and the one thing that's always on my mind is time. Where do I put my time? Where do I allocate it? So many games. They're so saturated in the gaming market. Just, make the decision that's going to be good for you, but if you do buy the game,